Ready and going. Episode Deuce. 22s. Hey. Episode Deuce of the Kickback. We have surpassed our legal drinking age mark, and we are now on to doing hood rat things with our friends because we are full-grown adults.
A grown TV show.
And we're just making it happen. I am your host as per usual. I go by the name of Jesus Christ. To my right, Dano the Mano. Director. No, you're not a director. You're an editor.
He directs things.
He don't direct shit. He is.
He's
not a director.
Some shit.
He's a contributor.
Not doing that. It's the director. Dano Holter.
Shots have been fired.
John Colombo.
John Colombo is a director extraordinaire.
Absolutely.
He does more than just contribute. He actually directs.
That's fucked up. At least I'm still here.
These are facts.
I don't even know what that means.
But I'm here now, and that's all that matters. Because without me, you want to actually no. You want to go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you run this.
And then we have our wonderful guest, Ian Williams, owner and operator of Deadstock Coffee, Portland, Oregon.
Can we get some hand claps?
Shout out.
My man's came with the ill. I don't want to call him ill. We'll say the ill mark.
Don't say ill like that.
Ill. He's got the always compete. Who you calling?
Bro, Eddie, I'm calling.
You need an antenna with them, Jones. Them things ain't getting no reception.
You want me to get you something? No, these get all the reception. What are you talking about? This the satellite that everything bounces off.
I think you might be in a dead zone, player. I don't know if them joints is really picking nothing up.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
You know what?
It's not for everybody.
You act that exactly. You're wearing them well, though.
Thank you very much.
They work very well with your aesthetic.
I need a lot of stability.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not a small guy, you know what I'm saying? So I like a nice stable platform.
Okay.
I'm in there whipping lattes, standing.
That wrist work.
The wrist.
Wrist.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. I definitely sing that while I'm pouring lattes. You seen it.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Deadstock Coffee, how the idea and the concept came about, and the location of where it's at, because I think that's all very important.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys a whole lot for having me here, man. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
It means a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? I seen some people on the show. And now I feel like I'm some people, so shout out. No, so yeah, the idea of Deadstock actually just came from being a sneaker collector, sneakerhead, sneaker whatever you want to say, just growing up. And the thing I loved the most about sneakers was that no matter who you were, where you came from, you actually just get to a whole bunch of people who just like a random thing all come together. And I always thought that was really dope. So you could be a plumber, you could be a janitor, you could be a lawyer or whatever, but all you knew is that every weekend you were all in line together and you were all talking about something. So I thought that was really cool. It was just like a very unique community. Had the opportunity to weasel my way through a job as a janitor at Nike, did that for a little bit, and then worked my way into a footwear job. So I was a footwear developer, kind of like an engineer, essentially. So I take the designer's drawings and I make it.
You make it made
with the factory, yeah. So I think the homie Chad Little was on the show before. So Chad was a designer, so I would take Chad's drawings. We didn't work together, but I knew him from then, and actually get them made. So that was really dope. Yeah. But all I really did was sit behind the computer and send emails. And what I missed was the community part.
Absolutely.
And so I just had this idea. I started doing these art shows, and that was okay. But they were like single-day pop-up art shows, and it was like there had to be something longer, something that was more lasting than this for the community. I was like, well, maybe I'll just open up a gallery. Galleries make no money. What does make money? Coffee. So that's really how I even got into it. I just wanted to do dope stuff with my friends. And this is included in doing dope stuff with my friends.
Right,
so,
it comes full circle.
Yeah. So, there was a lot of, so Deadstock is the only sneaker-themed coffee shop in the world.
That's incredible.
And it's located in Portland first because that is the sneaker capital of the world. It's where Nike's headquarters is, Adidas America, Under Armour has offices there. Also Columbia Sportswear, Keen, lots of other offices that I probably shouldn't talk about, along with Wyden and Kennedy and a whole bunch of agencies that do all the ads that we love growing up are all right there in Portland. So there's no better place to start something like Deadstock because the shop is more of a community space than it is a coffee shop. We just also happen to be real flipping good at making coffee too.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm a very competitive person. So.
And it's dope because when you think about the community aspect of a coffee shop, like that's where people go as a workspace to go handle work, they go network, they go drink coffee.
Yep.
But to bring that world together as well as bringing the sneaker world and the community together, and then being in the location where you are, like right there next to Pensole and all that as well, to have those worlds swirling around so much. And it's crazy that Portland is like the mecca for this stuff, because when you really think about it, it's like, when I think of Portland, I'm just like, okay, sneakers and rain. Like, I don't really think nothing else. But it's like, why of all places was Portland the one that, you know, that was chosen?
Yep.
But it's really dope. And you touched on being a janitor, and if I'm not mistaken, you had some input, I don't know if it was design or what, but you had some input in a high top Nike SB Dunk back in the day, huh?
Yeah, I did. You're not mistaken.
Don't be humble.
Huh?
Yeah, don't be humble.
If you know me, it's true. We are in LA. In LA, the first thing they ask you is like, "Yo, so what? Who do you know? What have you done? You know, what have you done?" In Portland, it's like, so like, where you from, man? You smoke? You know, like, you like beer? You know, so.
But no, you being a janitor. And,
so I
and
should go to Portland.
Yeah, say it again.
Go to Portland. You would fit in nicely.
Yeah, it rains too much, like you said. I don't know.
Yeah, but you'll
forget all the things that we just talked about. You'll forget about it.
Too much sun for you is a bad
Portland.
thing.
Yeah.
Like you would fit in nicely there. So I don't want to give it away, but please tell the story of how it came about in the shoe that you had.
Yeah. So out of high school, I just kind of didn't really have a lot of determination to go to college, and so I was like working little odd jobs here and there. I sold cars, I detailed cars, did a whole bunch of random stuff like that. But the money I was making, I was buying shoes. So I was like, man, why not find something that pays me to wear shoes? So I was fortunate enough to find a job as a janitor at the Nike, or actually, at the employee store.
Oh, okay.
If you're into sneakers, you know about the Nike employee store. Now it's called the company store.
The factory store.
The factory store.
Company store.
Company store. Factory store is like outlets and whatnot.
Yeah.
You can get a factory store anywhere.
Everywhere.
But
it's the company store.
In Beaverton, they have what used to be called the employee store, which was for employees. And then now, it's for anybody who has dollars.
Who's affiliated with, like...
Unless your name is
What do you mean
Williams.
it's for anybody that has dollars?
Dude, they give out passes to anybody ever.
You pay?
No.
What's dollars mean?
No, you don't pay. No, but, I mean, if you know somebody, you can pay for it.
What you don't pay? You
I
do
don't
pay.
know. So...
Allegedly. Allegedly, if you got dollars.
Look, we was talking about something else. So,
Because I thought I was special when I got my passes.
You are, hey, man. Special, bro. Yeah. One of a kind. So I was fortunate enough to find a job over there and actually got let go. I got into it with a manager after the holiday season was over.
Damn, angry black man.
Angry black man. Actually, it was like calm black man, and I think he took it as anger because I didn't get mad, and he was like, "This is aggressive."
You weren't playing the part.
Nah.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
I was very calm. I just was like, "Yo, nah," and he was like, "I need to talk to you."
Nah.
Yeah. I feel like it was that fast. But then after that, that was what helped me realize. Before that, I was just into shoes that came out in East Bay, Foot Locker or whatever.
Yeah.
And then got into the store, and then a dude named the homie to the day still, Keith Kunis, was like, "Yo, let me show you about these sneakers," and I was like, "What is that?"
What are those?
Yeah, exactly. I had for real, what are those moments? So after that, I just was like, all right, this is where I want to be. From that job, I just was hungry to get back in. Found a temp job making the airbags, which is right next to the employee store.
Like legitimately making the airbags that go in the shoe.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they do most of it in America because to protect the intellectual property.
Got it.
Damn.
So a lot of it's done in Portland, St. Louis, and Memphis.
St. Louis.
Yeah, there's now a factory in China too, but yeah,
Damn.
it's pretty crazy.
That's
So yeah,
wild.
I did that job for a couple months. It was the worst. It was like 5:30 a.m., 5:30 p.m., Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every other Monday. I was 18 or 19. I couldn't hang out with my friends. It was during football
it's the worst
season.
time of your life to be like doing
it was terrible. I went to work, it was dark. I got home from work, it was dark.
Of course.
I had to go to bed by 8 o'clock or else I couldn't wake up in the morning. But the area that I worked in most of the time was called Cell
Oh my
Cell
God.
4.
Ooh.
So I was
Sounds
in CB.
terrific.
So I was in CB4.
block.
That's right. So I was in CB4. That's the best thing about it.
Was that you were CB5?
It was that I was a CB4. After that, I was like, man, this is dumb. I'm never gonna get discovered here. So then I was just looking on the Nike website one day, and I thought somebody was just gonna walk up on me and be like, "You, job." I'm like, "Ooh, that's what I'm talking about," but that didn't.
We got affirmative action. We need to fill this spot.
No, if there was ever affirmative action, it was that place. Shoot, they're like, put them all over there. But anyway, man, I'm gonna get in so much trouble. I don't care. But from there, I saw a job. I was like, man, where is somewhere that I'm gonna be seen all the time? And if you're a janitor, like you're around somebody every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And my plan was just that I would get to know people after hours. I would see them every day after hours and become friends with them, so that when I'm looking for a job, you're helping your friend.
Right.
You're not helping just a random person.
random guy. Yeah.
Yep. So I remember my interview.
Super manipulative move.
Yeah. Look, man,
like
hey,
it.
look.
Yeah, but cheers to that move. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So anybody else who wants to do that, you can.
Hey, for
You
real.
can't. You can't.
For real.
Nah,
Yeah, not anyone.
Nah,
can
no,
do that.
no. It was weird because there was like a crop of us that were all like trying to get out. We like, yo, we gonna make it, and we were in the Mia Hamm building, which is the largest building on campus.
Oh, shit.
Other buildings have like maybe 4 janitors, and we had like 14.
Jesus
But that's
Christ.
because we had like restaurants, so they take like
okay,
a different
right.
amount of care
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But we all were like, one of my boys produced beats, and so I used to burn CDs in the custodial closet. He would play his music in the lobby, and somebody'd be like, "Oh, whose music is this?" And he'd be like, "Oh, it's mine." And then so he'd be like, "Yo, put this, and this on it." So I'd run to the closet, burn a CD, and as they walked out
Yo,
the door,
that's
he would hand
hard.
him a CD. But we was hustling,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. It's a hustle. It's a
I
grind.
used to get in trouble on purpose because I realized that every time I got in trouble, they moved me to a new area. So I would just talk
be a
too
new- a
much,
group of
and they would
people
move me
that,
to a
like-
new group of people. One time
Yeah.
they put me in the lobby, which was stupid because everybody leaves the building. So now I just see everybody. It was great, man. But yeah, as a janitor, I got to know the guys who worked in skate, taking out the trash, you know. And one day I just went up to them after knowing them for about a year, and was like, "Hey, you guys know I know what I'm talking about. You should let me design a shoe, or you should let me do a shoe." And they were like, "All right." And
That's
that was
crazy.
really, it like literally was that quick.
Yeah.
A couple dudes, James Arizumi, Sean Baravetto, they were like, "Yeah, bro, go ahead. Like, I don't care." And so I presented a 3-shoe pack called the Custodian Pack. It was a Windex shoe that was like a dunk low. That was like terry cloth and like ice bottom, of course, you know, for the liquid.
Right,
and
yeah,
Little
yeah.
red stitches on the swoosh was clear. Like I went ham turkey bologna on this pack. And then Dunk Mid, which was inspired by my vacuum and the carpet. So it was like it was the material of the carpet from the building, and then my vacuum was like a weird blue and it was ugly. And that shoe, they actually just were like, this is butt cheeks.
The carpet
bro.
was
This is
bad.
out here.
This is butt cheeks.
But then the last one, which is actually the first shoe that I had the idea for, was the wet floor side shoe.
floor.
And so there it is right there, all huge and in my face.
For all you SB heads out there, you definitely remember the wet floor highs. For
Yeah,
sure.
it was pretty dope, man. Did 5,000 pair. It was pretty crazy to have a shoe come out, but like I'm still taking out the trash.
You're a janitor. Like,
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Like I
yeah.
didn't get paid, but I did actually. They paid me in pairs, so I got. I think I got like 22 pair and just gave them out as thank yous.
22,
to everybody.
baby, that's the thing.
So the 22. I sold 22 per. I ate purrs now.
Shout out to the pair.
Shout out to all the purrs.
That's so hard. So why did they decide? Do you know why they decided to go with the wet floors as opposed to like the Windex or anything else?
The Windex one, that they were like, yeah, we're gonna get sued, but I
Legal.
think they just didn't like it. And the vacuum one, like I said, they said was booty cheeks.
Yeah.
So they just were like, get that out of here.
I think the pack itself though is awesome. Like,
Oh,
I love,
yeah.
I
Conceptually,
love,
the
like,
pack is
yeah,
awesome.
conceptualization of like a whole pack like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
straight up
wasn't ready
custodial
for it.
pack.
That's what it was.
I agree.
You know.
Windex sounds like super wearable too, and like a memorable
clean.
pair.
Yeah.
I mean, not that these
no
aren't
pun
memorable,
intended, but it was clean. Yeah. But like
Nah,
it was
that's
really
man.
dope. The vacuum one, you know, it's kind of like you know how the 3 Bears pack is cool now.
Yeah.
How it's like really expensive, but when it came out, people were like, "What am I gonna do with this?" I feel like that's what the vacuum one would have been, because I wanted to use like it's like industrial carpet,
Right.
like the
Yeah.
carpet that like when you like if you hit your head on it, it's probably worse than if you hit your head on concrete.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, it was terrible. It was all rough and angry, but you know, whatever. They just didn't want to do it.
Right.
But yeah, so this came out in 2009, I think, and it was around the time that the layoffs happened at Nike, the first round of layoffs a while ago. And it was the shoe dropped the week before. Nike did an internal story on me that Monday. Layoffs happened on Tuesday. So it was crazy because I gave myself this random desk in a back hallway. And bro, trust, we could talk for 400 hours. And I used to come in at 9 o'clock in the morning and then pretend to be working until 3 and just teach myself Illustrator and Photoshop in a hallway.
No shit.
Yeah, outside of a VP's office. I had this like container of gummy worms that I used to fill up so people would stop and talk to me.
Wait, so you had the only desk in this hallway?
Yeah.
And it could not have looked like it deserved to be there?
I mean, it deserved to be there, you know what I'm saying?
In your mind?
Yeah. No, it was where they actually would put the interns in the summer. So it was just
okay.
like a back, you know, like you have like a main hall, and then if you go down the back hall, it was actually along the windows. So I kind of had like a window seat.
Damn.
It was kind of fire.
Hell yeah.
But
Corner
yeah.
office.
Yep. And I would like take the papers and move them every day to make it look like I was doing stuff, even though like I just was doing the same 1 or 2 things.
Right.
But,
And you was just there on your free time,
though.
though. Like before you actually had to work, you were just going in and.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep, I was
shit.
going in at like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and I would go to
ill.
people's meetings when they would let me. I knew the catering schedule, so whenever people had like breakfasts, I would go and like eat all the food. Everybody used to hook me up. Like that's the crazy thing is the people who I met when I was a janitor are still some of my closest friends.
Right.
They're like,
How old were you around that time?
20.
Okay, it makes sense. So you were hungry, like you had,
Yeah.
not literally, but also,
But I was also hungry.
literally.
Yeah.
But no, you were at that age where it was like shit don't matter, like you
No,
just
it really
hustling
didn't.
and like, to make it work.
Yeah, my mom, you know, being my mom, she wants the best for her son. She's like, no, baby, don't do it. No, she didn't say baby. My mom was like, boy, why you keep going in there? That place don't care about you. But of course,
Typical
when I
black
got the
mother,
job,
though.
exactly.
Like,
You know, she's like, you could be cleaning around the house instead. and please believe, I think I also like installed French doors off of like watching YouTube videos and going to Home Depot,
Hey,
like asking questions.
hell yeah.
They got like retiled the floor. Like it was crazy all during that time just so she could be like, cool.
Right,
you know,
right. To
just
kind
be
of
like, yeah,
like
this
build
all
up the
good.
points to like go in and go do your shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But and I was like living at home, you know, like a bum. But you
At
know,
20, that's what you're supposed to do.
yeah.
though, like,
Well, okay, so I had moved out right when I graduated, and I was like, Mom, I'm out this piece.
you thought you was a grown up
and,
already.
like for real, like true sneakerhead story. That was when I first started working at Nike, and I wanted to buy everything, and I ran out of money. I had to move back home. So everybody's
sense.
like, "Were you partying?" Like, no, I actually don't drink or anything, so I wasn't partying.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
thing I drank was Sprite. Because Grant Hill was on it.
Spicy water.
Yeah. Grant Hill and Damon Stoudemire at the time.
Hey, Lil Penny. Shout out to Lil Penny.
Before aluminum foil, Damon. But hey, no, real talk. He showed up at my church like right after that. He just was like in the church, and we were like, "What in the world
you
is?"
doing
Oh
here?
yeah. Never saw him again after that.
Yo, that's crazy though. That's a story that not too many people can really have or relate to like work your way up through the reins of janitor at the store, getting let go because you were not really an angry black man, but you were perceived as an angry black man.
Yeah.
Becoming a janitor on
Subtly
campus and then having a shoe, whether or not you got credit for it, you know.
This?
You got credit for it.
Oh no! If you go to the website, it says designed by Ian Williams.
Okay, so you did get the
No,
right
they-
recognition for it.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, they showed me love. They
But
still,
that's like still.
yeah,
that's,
those are my guys.
That's
SB
something
guys
that
are my
not a lot of
dudes.
people can say, man.
Yeah.
So that's really
Epic.
dope.
Thank you,
yeah,
that's
that's
While you were a janitor.
While I was a janitor.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
unheard
Yeah.
of, right?
That's the only story like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah,
I think,
straight up.
I think what's also dope about it, I mean, what rings home for me is just the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the way through, it sounds like there was a vision.
It was some
the hustle is
You got a
I'm
hustler
gonna do
spirit.
this, so
Like,
this happens. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stand here, so this person sees.
yeah, I'm gonna put
That's-
gummy worms on the side of my shit, so motherfuckers gotta come and get some and talk
that's
to me.
real
Like,
hustle shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like
and
this.
somebody one time told me to put an envelope on the front that said Gummy Worm Fund. So then I got paid to give you gummy worms. Spit the water out. Yeah.
that's
Yeah, it
lit,
was legit.
man.
I think it was costing me like $7 to fill it, and I think I was making like $9.
Ooh,
And at that time, I
That
was
return on
balling and
investment,
swagging on that $2. Hey, $2 of gas like that, woo! Please believe.
and back then gas was cheap.
Back then, I'm not that old. What are you talking about?
Back then,
How old
back
are
in the
you?
Huh?
1800s.
Yeah, nigga,
10
back
years
then,
ago.
back then gas was cheap.
Man,
All right, we talking 2007-ish.
Actually,
Come on.
$2 was like a gallon, maybe. Yeah. So that's
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, now that we're on the topic of SBs, and I appreciate you telling that very long-winded story.
Was it supposed to be short? I don't even know.
No, but we just took some turns that didn't need to be turned down. We hit some.
Nah, it's
It's two aggressive black men, man.
I know, I love it. My man's got the old English coffee on his hat. He ready to go to war.
That's right.
I die by this fucking affogato espresso. You feel me?
You sound like you really have that.
Oh, I know. About,
Okay.
I know.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know about some things.
Only the finest.
You know, I live in Santa Monica. I live amongst the whites.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to
Yes.
know. Like,
Yeah, you.
You know?
You don't live on top of a blue bottle or Intelligentsia or something right there, right?
No, I live at the top of Starbucks. About as
Okay.
basic white girl as you can get. But it's, I mean,
You're
I love
walkable.
pumpkin spice.
it do the job.
walkable to the nice stuff.
I live across the street from a nicer establishment that serves coffee in the day and wine at night. So
Does
I'm
the
amongst-
aroma of pumpkin spice like roll
Does it just
up
grace
towards your
the-
window?
It
the
has
pumpkin
to.
spice aroma, the white girls in Uggs and tights, like it's just all
That
like.
smells terrible.
Whatever, bro. You know,
That's
you
not
got
an aroma I'm interested in.
Wait a
Whatever, man.
minute.
You about to be over the house in the morning. You're like, let me confirm.
No one wants
I'm
Uggs
telling
and
you, man,
tights.
them white girls walking around in the fucking Victoria's Secret love spell and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
They still make that?
Love spell for real still.
I don't know. I'm just bringing back memories from my childhood.
That was the
Sweet pea and love spell and all that shit.
Smells like daddy issues.
But
Smell like
it does smell like daddy issues 1,000%. Getting back to the topic of sneakers, motherfuckers. This was a part of a golden era of SBs, in my opinion, because I feel like the early 2000s was really, from like 2005 till about 2009, 2010 was really when like SBs was hitting.
Yeah.
And I think the frenzy that the thing that started that whole frenzy was obviously the staple pigeon Dunk Low. So it has been confirmed. I don't want to say it's been confirmed. We've seen it pop up online, and I'm almost positive it's been confirmed. But there is going to be a black version of the Dunk Low pigeon 13 years later. So Jeff Staple and Reed Space changed the sneaker collecting hobby forever when the Pigeon Nike SB Dunk Low released and caused an actual riot in New York City. The Pigeon Dunk is set to return in November, this time in a previously unreleased black colorway. The info was confirmed by my homies and SB pros, Ashad Ware and Eric Costin, who shared first looks at the black pigeons on Instagram. Ashad first on his story, and then Costin did a video of him playing golf in the black pigeons.
He was also in some Monarchs the other day doing kick flips.
It was a backside flip, but yes.
Well, sorry, my bad. He was doing all the flips.
Let's make sure that we get our facts
you,
straight.
You are right. You are
I
right.
know.
I just was generalizing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Team Monarch.
No, but these are going to be dropping in November. Apparently, I don't think there is an official release date yet, but people have gotten their hands on pairs. And to me, it's very underwhelming. And I say that because this, to me, minus the nubuck or suede, I think it's nubuck, on
it
top,
looks like nubuck,
it's
yeah.
exactly the same as the Nike SB Levi's Hyperstrike.
Yep.
All black with a red bottom. That, like,
It's got a pigeon, huh?
I don't understand.
it's got a pigeon. You're correct.
I don't understand the tongue.
With
Why
the
is it-
swoosh
why
on
is
it?
the regular-
just the
yeah.
one
Yeah, I don't
swoosh.
like that swoosh
Actually,
on it
and
at
this is
all.
more fireist.
Yeah, see, these were hard
Yeah,
to
this
get.
has the Nike Air tag on it.
Right, but these dropped 2014,
Oh, these are the Levi.
15, I think, 13 actually. But this was a Levi's Hyperstrike, so they did this one, and then they did a blue with like an American flag on the insole and shit like that. But to me, they didn't really get original. Now, I think if you go back and look at old SBs, like I want to say it was on the molders. I don't remember exactly, but they had just a check on it. It was before they really like branded SB, when they were still coming in the orange boxes. So it might be an ode to that, but other than that, I'm very
shade to it,
underwhelmed.
that hue to it makes you think.
I want
Yeah.
to know the story
Of that time.
So
That's what I mean. Yeah,
that's the whole thing here. That's what's missing in this whole thing. I
Yep.
think that's a big portion of it. Like I want to know the story. I've been talking with Jeff a bunch about this shoe, like before the leak. But when he started teasing images on Instagram of like a sample tag and some other shit, I like got in there. I was like, look, I'm not gonna be in New York. I'm sure you're gonna do New York. Blah blah blah. Can we? I was trying to finesse and make something happen. And he was like playing coy to the whole thing. He's like, "What shoe?" And then like putting emojis and shit like that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
building hype.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I'm sure this shit is gonna be something dope.
Keep it
like,
funky,
you pretty
yeah.
much like, you know, my taste in footwear, you appeal to it. You know what I'm saying, and that sort of thing. So I was like, I'm sure this shit's gonna be dope. I normally wouldn't be like, I want that shoe before I know what it looks like, but in this case, I was kind of on that. And then he was like, what do you think it is? And then I'm like playing this guessing game shit with him, and we're doing like a fucking hot and cold on it.
Man, I want to do that.
But that's what I'm saying. So like anyway, I got fucking nowhere. But at the end of the day, I want to know why this is it. Like maybe when he did the first pigeon dunk, it was supposed to be a pack, and this is what it was supposed to be. And I don't fucking know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
nobody knows. There's been nothing that's
significance to Jeff as to why this is this.
Nothing that's telling a story other than pros leaking it online. And if you look at one of the like 37 million fucking videos of Jeff Staple telling the story of the riots, you'll see there are hats that have the black and red colorway with the pigeon on it. But other than that, there's nothing really to it. And that, like, it's just underwhelming to me that there's no story. There's nothing that, like, ties back to, you know, something that he saw in the riots. Like, maybe people was black and red because they was getting beat up and bloody and shit. I don't know. Like, just do something that, like, brings it home, because this is just SB reaching, in my opinion.
You're from New York. You know what I'm saying, B?
Yep.
Y'all got pigeons like this?
Dead ass, y'all got pigeons like that, B? Poppy?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Maybe that's it.
Oh, there's dark ass pigeons?
That's it. Shout out to all the nigga pigeons in New York.
Shout out.
Like,
Stay black, pigeons.
like
Black
what
pigeons
else
matter.
is there? I don't know. Like I like it because it's a very simple colorway. I do like that because I
Yeah,
appreciate
you do like predominantly
This
black.
will be
I
this is like a
appreciate black
good.
and red, but
Yeah.
this could have just been a fucking GR in my opinion.
This is like a good Portland shoe. Because it rains and it's like always terrible. I could wear this forever.
Yeah, they definitely seem
Yeah.
super wearable.
And like if you like walk to work or
I
anything
feel like they would
that,
need to be like
these are
was it Gore-Tex or whatever because that's the
Should
water
be.
resistant shit, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
rains so much. We know that you're not from Portland if you have an umbrella. Like
Yep,
if
somebody
you
said
just,
that to me. I brought an umbrella with me.
it was me.
No.
That's it wasn't me.
It was my Uber driver.
Oh,
Literally
man,
getting
that's-
out of the cab, like, I said some shit like, right when I landed or whatever. And I was like, good thing I brought my umbrella. And he's like, you're the only one be with it. Or whatever.
I think Dave Chappelle one time made a joke. He was doing stand-up and he was like, Portlanders have this thing. They're like, not protected, protected. Like you know, just like you just hunch your shoulders and you're like, oh, I'm good. It's raining.
Everything's good now.
Okay, we're good. You know?
So for me, like I was just saying, like the early 2000s were the heyday of SBs. Me being a skateboarder and a person that enjoyed shoes, like that was my shit. Especially, we've talked about this before back in Kansas City where I'm from. Like my community, everybody was on J's. Everybody was camping out every Saturday, like trying to make sure. So that was a way for me to set myself apart before people around me were really big on SBs. Do you think that Nike will ever get back to that point of where they were in the early 2000s when SBs was just hitting
No.
every release?
No, it can't. And the reason, well, it could, but the reason why it was where it was because it was literally a separate business. It was just it was like a ragtag group of fools that just liked skating and liked cool stuff.
Yeah.
And so they just really did what they want. And if you really think about it, without putting too much numbers out there, if SB is worth $200 million, it's like a drop in the bucket.
Right.
It's bigger than most skate companies, like the whole
Absolutely.
company.
Absolutely.
This chunk of a larger, wheel is worth like pennies. And so why is that a focus? But then once, you start to see the trajectory and around 09, 2010, then we got they split it off and did like Nike's NYX, SB 6.0, and there was and then Snow came in around that time too. There was just like so much stuff. There's oversaturation.
Yep.
6.0 was confusing as hell.
Right. Yeah, I remember there was a time where they got rid of SB and 6.0 and it was all like kind of mushed into one for a minute. Yeah.
Yep. So like once all that started to happen, it just got so corporate and money focused.
Yeah.
And then now you have all these things that are just like out there auxiliary. You have to try to pull it back in and just bring it all to Nike SB, but when snowboarders are like, what? And the kids who were wearing 6.0 stuff, the kids are like, what?
Yep.
Because the 6.0 stuff was less expensive. And honestly, it was really clean. It was really dope, but
Yeah,
But
a lot
just,
of the
like,
BMX
everything
homies
was-
was running the 6.0
Yeah.
and shit too.
It was, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
6.0,
were
I
even
remember-
making ones with like built-in clips for the pedals and shit at one point.
They did it for the Olympics.
Oh,
yeah, they
yeah.
had a pair
They
of
did it
dunks
for the
you could like
Olympics.
clip into your
BMX
Right.
guys
bike.
don't clip their.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
no, they
so
don't.
like,
Yeah, they don't.
They did some weird shit.
But it was for
during that
dirt
time.
jumping or dirt, because that was the one that went to the Olympics was the dirt racing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like all that, it just got too corporate.
Yeah.
And
As everything usually.
Yeah.
That goes. It peaks and it goes down. It's usually because
Yeah.
of that, the money hungry and
but the way that it
corporations.
started was a bunch of dudes and ladies who really love skating, and so they made stuff for themselves. The way that P-Rod got discovered for Nike was that he was wearing a pair of Terminators at the SBs, and they were like, "Why is this dude like? How come he's not wearing blah blah blah? You know, he's out there
S, he
skating
was on
in
S at the
J's
time,
and
yeah.
whatnot, and even go back to." I think there's some photos of like Chad Muska skating in Jordans, like
Oh,
way
yeah,
back.
yeah,
You know what I'm
sure
saying?
there
So
are.
like,
Yeah.
He
so
was
all these
skating in
guys
Melvin
ones.
2s for a minute as well. Like
for real?
Yeah, he was definitely like Melvin 2. Those are the white canvas with the red.
Oh,
fucking-
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, you know, they were doing this because, you know, they felt good in it, and it was, you know, that was what they were seeing. You know, you look
Absolutely.
at the greatest, you look at, you know, basketball is super influential, and so, you know, hip hop and all that stuff that's
Right.
woven into the skate culture. Then you start to make like EQ and URL, and it's like, man, they don't want that. And Zoom Tray and all that, like they're cool.
But those are hard though.
Oh man, look, I got loon trays. Yeah, I still got loon trays.
Yeah, loon trays and the loon dunk lows.
Yeah,
they
them
kind of
loon dunk lows, I kind of slept on them, man. I got a couple friends that have them, and every time I see them, I'm like, but yeah, you know, once it just starts to get so
Yeah, you're absolutely
corporate,
right. Yeah.
you know, one of the examples was the two of them, the Digifloral and the Concorde. They kept trying to do the Digifloral on the Concorde, and kept getting shot down because they were like, doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, but it's dope, like we should
Yeah.
just do it, and they were like, nope, doesn't make sense. I think Digifloral was like, something dropped. Actually, this is how my shoe got in. Something dropped and they needed something that just looked crazy, and they were like, well, use this. And so like, you know, at first I thought it was like, oh man, they did this nice thing for me because I'm working hard. Then later on, like a couple years later,
You
I found
realize, like,
found a
yeah.
story out that they were like, nah man, we had something dropping.
It was
we
just
needed
a charity
something.
case.
Yeah, you know. And it just kind of worked out, you know.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up the Digifloor because I was a Janowski, and Janowski,
Right.
Stefan himself had to fight to get that shoe to be his professional shoe because and you might be able to attest to this, but it looked too much like a boat shoe, and at that time, that was not the aesthetic that Nike was going for, and he had to fight, and now it's like the top selling
Yeah,
Nike
they
SB
still
of
sell
all
it.
time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
know mad people that wear that
Costin
shoe don't skate or aren't in the
Exactly.
shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
they
man, I
just-
see
it's
so
just a
many
good
people wearing
shoe.
them. It's a very
Yeah.
good shoe.
And they've done so many iterations now. They've
Yep.
got the lunar ones. They've got the Max. Like they've done
Yep,
so
mids
many. The
and-
mids.
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
yeah,
Those
that's,
Maxes actually look really good.
yeah, those are comfortable as shit.
My foot is too wide. I can't wear them, but
That
I
Yeah,
know
is-
yeah,
that
that's why I don't
is
have
a-
any, for
yeah, that
sure.
is absolutely a problem.
They're-
I think
they're down.
they hate me.
they changed. I don't know. They hate me. After a couple of years, I don't know if it was because they changed them because I remember they took the cork insoles out and stopped
Yeah.
doing the leather laces and all that.
Yep.
But they did start to get a little bit
Dollars.
wider around the forefoot.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, for real?
yeah, so after a while, they did start to loosen up because I got very long, narrow feet, but I did notice a difference in them after a minute too. So you're absolutely right. But again, I don't think Nike SB will ever really get back to it, and I
don't think so.
I've noticed.
It's a different climate now.
Yeah.
You would need those people back.
right.
And actually, like, you can see these people's footprint, no pun intended, elsewhere in the company. James Arizumi, the guy who did all the P-Rods and,
Yeah,
and
yep.
Costins and stuff like that, went over to golf.
Okay.
And you
Makes
guys seen
sense.
the dopeness that's been coming out of golf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been putting
You know,
on fire.
so like, and there would be times where I'd be talking to James, and if he wasn't sitting behind a pile of shoes designing, you know, then fast forward a few years, and he, you know, has a family and, you know, realizes what's really important, I guess, you know, because
Yeah.
you change, you get your family, you have children and whatnot. Then I would go into his office, and he would just be sitting like crisscross applesauce on the desk with like one book around him, and like, so really, what do you really want to do in life? You know, but like, but in his mind, he's still, I don't care, James.
Yeah.
You know, like if we're gonna do something dope, then just do it.
yeah.
You know, and so, you know, they took that to golf, you know, and
look at it
it's
now.
crazy.
Like,
So
Yeah. I don't think SB can ever be what it was because it like that was like the origination of the whole collaboration thing. Like now that's the fucking normal.
That's
That is
normal,
the
yeah.
absolute norm now. And that was where it was like, oh, we're gonna take this one silhouette and we're gonna collaborate with all these dope street artists and like hip hop people and all these fucking
is
dope
everything
things.
right
And it changed everything. It
Yeah.
created the hunger and the desire to have these unique ass shoes.
were they the
yeah.
first
'Cause
ones
they were
to
the
do like
opposite of
all over
GRs.
stuff? Because
What's that?
on Forces they were doing like heel hits, right? Heel hits or like change your tongue on like the rear quarter. You know,
I
like
imagine
back
so,
here.
yeah.
But-
You're
but,
talking about
like,
what they
with
were
the
able to
chocolate
do.
and all that. You know, like were they the ones that first do like
I believe so.
All-
if you really
all
think about
over?
it, like yeah.
Like crazy exotic materials.
well, not even material, but just like
But
all
just
over
the
print,
prints, yeah.
or like stuff like that.
Like it was a lot of
because-
stuff happening in skate as far as like core skate brands that were doing that. Because I remember S was doing like all kind of crazy all over shit. But
Yeah.
for a brand that was affiliated with Nike to do something like that,
Right,
it
like
put a
not
stamp
like a
on
Vans
it.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, put a stamp on it. My thing with SB is like I appreciate what they are trying to do as far as the heritage of it, but taking the low, like what Columbo's wearing now, like the Sea Crystal highs were fucking hard.
Yeah.
But now they're flipping everything. They're doing the Sea Crystal lows. They did the De La lows and highs and flipped
Or
those.
they'll do the
and,
highs
like-
now.
They said they were
Yeah,
never
the
retro. I think that's what it is.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's like, man, for a lot of people that grew up on that and were really into it, it'd be dope if we could get some retros where it was pretty much true to the original shoe.
Just give me my Ray Guns back.
When did these drop?
Right.
Dude, Kyrie's
When did
Ray
this come
Guns.
out?
Not the
Because
Kyrie's Ray
The
Guns.
ones
I
you're
just
wearing
got
now?
these on a
Yeah.
really sweet deal and picked them up. I
Those
wasn't
just
like-
came out. I remember Ashad was skating in those maybe like 3 months ago.
Those are clean.
So that's the one you're wearing now is the Ashad Wear model where they slimmed everything down. They took the fat padding out the tongue.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it
it
gave
is
him.
slimmed the fuck down. Let
Yeah.
me tell you.
yeah, this
because
collar
they
is
gave it-
crazy.
Even
Right.
in here, it is. So there's inside the sock liner. I mean, it is fucking stretched super tight. Like there's a little something in there, but it is like wrapped.
Yeah, it's
around my
very,
foot,
like-
mad control. Like
It
Yeah,
isn't that
it's-
new Lunar, is it, on the outsole?
No. They just have the middle hit.
Okay.
But those just recently dropped. But the OG highs came out, I want to say like 06. Nah, I
02?
won't know because
No?
SB didn't
That's
really
early.
start. Yeah, they didn't really start like hitting until like 05. But yeah, so they're doing
I
a lot of
almost
that.
got them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And then they just escaped
06
me.
kind of sounds right.
Yeah. So they're doing a lot of shit now where it's like it's cool, but it's not the same. Like you
Yeah.
don't get the same feeling, and I don't
No,
know. It's
you
just yeah.
Just
Doesn't-
do all of them on the
all
new
the-
Kyrie. Just do them all.
Oh god, those fucking Kyrie Ray
Those
Guns.
Kyrie-
They look
is-
so fucking
That,
good.
and the Kyrie 3, I don't know who designed it. I
You
love
like
I love you,
those?
whoever designed
The Ray
it, I'm sure.
Guns?
But
Yeah, the Kyrie
Yeah,
Ray Guns.
Absolutely.
Oh god, I
think
almost
those
threw
look
it in my
fantastic.
mouth when I
It's
saw those.
They
no,
look great.
That's the only. That's like the only pair
It doesn't
of
make
Kyrie
any
3s
sense
that
that
I
they look
messed
good
with.
on there. They
Really?
do.
That and actually, I thought the Duke ones were like okay, but and I don't even care about
What
The
about
that.
only
those
Kyrie
Clovers?
3s that I messed with were the
Clovers.
Kyrie
Is that
Kobe,
a Kyrie
like
colorway?
the half
Yeah,
and half.
he
Clover?
opened the season with them.
Oh,
Yeah, he had like clovers on his toe right here.
good job.
Oh, because
I like clovers.
Yeah, so
Good job, Kyrie.
I
I like clovers.
Ducks.
I'm a very white Irishman. All right, enough with SBs. Another thing that popped up this week was Undefeated reviving the flight jacket in their third Nike Air Max 97 collaboration. Undefeated will be dropping their signature olive colorway on the Air Max 97, which was released in both white and black iterations last month. This MA1 flight jacket inspired colorway is set to release exclusively at ComplexCon this weekend, November 4th and 5th. Is this the best colorway of the 97 that has dropped in their collaboration?
I say yes.
Yeah,
1,000,000%.
Yes.
yeah.
I was
other
not
one's gonna
fucking
be-
with
I'm
the
hype
Gucci's.
beasting all over this shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be terrible. The white ones were boring.
Right, and the only thing
And-
that was hype about the white ones were like they were a little bit more limited than the
Right.
blacks, but like
The only thing that's hype about it on any of the other ones is this.
the undefeated piping.
But
Yeah, I like there's no patent on this.
this is so
They're not patent.
clean. Is that reflective? Because if that's reflective,
don't
I'm gonna poop my pants.
The black?
Yeah,
That'd be dope.
no,
this
the
was
green
the
on the bottom
green.
portion.
Like our
Yeah, I think
these
it's
layers.
leather.
You
Yeah,
can't
I think-
you can't tell. I feel like there's a little anodization right here. You know what I'm saying?
It might be,
Light
but I'm
hits.
not holding my breath for
I'm not
it.
either. I'm not holding my breath on getting them either.
Yeah, so it's
Not
a
at all.
ComplexCon exclusive at the
Fucking
moment,
nightmare.
which I don't know. They may do a small limited run. Like they never really give out full details when it comes
Yeah.
up to this type of stuff. but I don't think they'll do a public release of these.
Probably not.
So that's gonna make them 10 times more valuable and 10 times harder to get.
Yeah.
Because ComplexCon last year, day one, like people were lining up around the fucking convention center for hours trying to get, like, we were talking about it outside, the Antisocial Social Club, Air Force Ones, and like all the fucking LA and New York ones that they were doing. But this year is gonna be nutty.
It's gonna be bananas.
And I think this is like
five
they should have done this originally. Like I know
The
it's
5
like,
shoes that I want. There's like 13, 14 shoes coming.
yeah, there's a
out.
grip of them dropping
it's
exclusively at
ridiculous this
ComplexCon.
weekend.
Yeah,
It's
they
like-
they
This
knew
whole
what they was
episode
doing.
could be about the shoes that are coming out.
Are they dropping Ewings again? Like, are they about to
I don't
come out
think
with a
so.
whole bunch
Nah,
of?
I
Are
don't
all the
think so.
brands trying to come out with
I mean,
stuff?
everybody's trying to drop something exclusive. It seems.
Yeah.
But Nike is
I brought
crazy.
this up earlier, and I can't attest to it, but just from my experience of 10, 15 years of trade shows and bullshit, like, I don't think this has ever happened, ever. Like, that all these brands have come together in the same room, in the same day, in the same time, all to drop exclusive
exclusives.
releases.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty
All
crazy.
at the same time. In
Yeah.
the same fucking room. Where everyone's just like,
Yeah,
Where the
yeah,
fuck do I
run
go?
around
Where do
with
I-
chicks, like
where do
chicks
I
with the
stand?
head off.
I'm like,
Yeah.
That's what he was
Yeah.
saying. He's like, you got to
Yeah.
pick your
Yeah.
line right.
Cause like, yeah, you got to pick your top 2 and then your number 1, cause you're gonna invest at least 3 hours standing in line trying to get those.
yo,
things.
I'm
Well, the
literally
crazy
like,
thing is the
upstairs,
show's
I have,
only
like,
2 days too.
Right.
Two
Like,
days, I have like a list of like, and they're very vague about everything too. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know when people are talking about Frenzy app, telling them drop zones and random shit. And I'm just like making a list of priority and then trying to figure out
Right.
who I know with those brands, trying to call some shit, make finesse something, and then wait for this one while that one's coming through. And what, like,
I feel like with
which is cool,
situations
like,
like
this little
this,
hunt-
I'm not
hustle,
trying to do
but-
none of it.
with
But that shit
situations
is
like this,
fucking
I feel
crazy.
like the finesse is, they know how much money they're gonna make, and like that
Oh, yeah.
finesse
Dude,
is so
it's crazy.
difficult in a situation like this.
No,
like,
I'm not saying like finesse like get a freebie. I'm saying finesse like
Front of the line
get
pass
a
type
bag with
thing.
my fucking name on a post-it note. You know
Right,
what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like, and I can go just peace and keep it moving.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I don't know, and not just to be like a dick about it, but like I'm there to work. Like I'm going
Yeah.
there so I can network and continue to do my thing and politic with everybody and do all that
Yeah.
shit. But I also want to be a fucking customer and cop a
Right.
bunch of dope shit that I won't have a chance to grab.
Well,
And I'm
yeah.
definitely not paying fucking resale.
I'm
Isn't
gonna
that
run
kind
around
of
with my
the-
head cut off for sure.
You said what?
I'm gonna run around with my head cut off for sure. Dude, like, what the fuck?
Isn't that kind of the cool thing? Like, we've all been around it for a long time, and for us to all still be excited about it, it's pretty
Oh,
crazy.
it's
I think
ridiculous.
that
There's a
the
whole
level
network.
of excitement right now is
People-
I can't believe it. Right
Yeah,
Who just
it's
like you
taking
about
something
people
like
who like
ComplexCon to get that excitement back though, because it's become so digital where there's no interaction, there's no connection. You don't
Yeah.
have to go somewhere and be
Yep.
a part of this community. And something like this has made it like, okay, this is a thing. Like I know this is going to be here, what day it is, where I need to go, who I
Yeah.
need to talk to. Whereas now it's just like, oh, let me get on my phone and hopefully get on a few minutes early and see if I can cop. Like there's
Yeah.
no real enjoyment or excitement leading up to it anymore. And
It is
we
engaging,
needed
like,
things
yeah.
like this.
This dude is so excited. Like me, I'm like really excited. He was trying to book a hotel room earlier just so that, like, it's close to the convention center, so that he could go. And he's like, what are we gonna do with all the stuff we get? Like, he was like, I'm gonna have to book a hotel room just to keep all this shit in, so I can run back and forth. I was like, this is getting out of control.
Dude, because
Did
I'm
you-
already
did you
saying
get the hotel?
there's gonna be fucking poachers like sitting around
Oh,
waiting for
guaranteed.
people.
Oh, hell yeah.
People are gonna walk their
So
boxes
many
back to the
cars are
car.
gonna get broken
Oh, it's
into.
gonna be
Like I'm
bad.
not
Yeah.
wishing any
Lock your
evil on
shit up.
anybody,
Yeah.
but like they will not have enough security
Hire a
in
security
those
guard
parking
for your
garages
car.
to like really.
That's what should happen.
No, they don't have
That's
To
probably
really
the same
keep-
price as a hotel room. Just saying.
I gotta get an Airbnb just to put all these boxes in.
Yeah, we're getting a security guard to stand by
No,
your
don't
car.
get an Airbnb.
That's it.
Don't get. You know what? No, you just gotta find somebody to protect it for you. Because if you get an Airbnb, somebody knows they're gonna just open the door to their house and take the shoe. You can't be like, don't do that. They're like, no, this is my damn house. So
Don't do that.
You were about to drop a bunch of money. You should just see about private security.
I'm just.
he
that was
just
my idea.
said that. Yeah.
I heard
yeah,
you, but
it's
I was
on it.
really just
The
trying to.
fact that
No,
his
we're
voice
doing
has
it.
got
You
so
should
high
really-
means
we're
he's so
doing it.
serious.
We're
He's so
doing it.
serious
Yeah,
about
we're
this.
doing it. If I had my phone on right now, I'd be done already.
I wonder how much that is to hire private security. Just sit there.
$350. I got it.
Dude, I'm
done.
sure you can get.
Oh wow, you check. Wow. Wow.
Write the check.
Hey, make sure the security works for you.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, yeah, you got to make sure this is like
you know what would be fucked up is like he'll do all that shit and
then the security guard would
no,
get
we
out.
just can't get a single because it's just like
Just like, walking next to you all day.
You're very optimistic on the level of shit you're going to
No, cut
acquire.
to me in my hotel
He's got
room
this
completely empty, alone.
armed security guard holding like a hat in a car, like a free fucking hat.
Make sure you get like a real security guard too, not like a mall cop security guard or like a college
can actually
kid who's just
handle
looking for some
Yeah.
extra work.
No, come armed to the teeth.
Like an
If you don't
off-duty
look
cop.
like Rambo, I'm not interested.
Your shirt should be ripped.
I just need you to look scary so motherfuckers don't come and get aggressive. That's really all it is. Like, just make sure this motherfucker looks like he can do some damage so that nobody even gets
Patty
any
work?
like.
They actually might just make you. They might just
No.
part the
Work?
seas and go right to the
Just
front
have
of
him
the
be
line.
crazy, twitchy the whole time.
Well, I hope you
No,
guys.
man.
I hope you guys can get all of the things that
What are
you
you
wish
doing on
to
Saturday?
acquire. Not guarding the motherfucking car. I tell you that.
I don't know. I might guard the car. How much y'all got? Hey,
350.
yeah. What else? 350 and my pair. Yeah, they call me Young Secure the Bag. I got you, son.
I heard that.
Man.
No, well, I hope, like I said, I hope you guys
What
are
else is-
able to secure your pairs
Appreciate
and,
this.
and do
else
what
were
you
talking
need to
about?
do.
Is this dropping?
Oh, we'll get to that. That's
Okay.
We got an
My
open
bad.
discussion.
Yeah,
in a
that came
few-
out of nowhere.
It just
Yeah.
turned. Yeah. Got
Uh,
excited.
Before we get to
That's
that, I know
what's
you guys
supposed
are
to happen, I
excited.
think.
ComplexCon is a very enticing time right now. But another monumental moment that popped up this week as well is that Virgil Abloh's Off-White Air Jordan 1 has been named Shoe of the Year by Footwear News. This year, designer Virgil Abloh has scored the coveted Shoe of the Year honor, following in the footsteps of the Adidas Stan Smith, Kanye West's Adidas Yeezy Boost, and Rihanna's Fenty Puma Creeper. Abloh's Air Jordan 1 sneaker from the 10 collection with Nike truly set off a feeding frenzy in the market.
And they haven't even really dropped.
And
it.
they're just now going on to like the nationwide The 10 tour. Open question, do you guys think this should be Shoe of the Year? Because in my opinion, I think it should be the story or concept of the year.
Okay.
But it's not necessarily, to
Sure.
me, the shoe of the year.
My initial reaction was yes, of course, this wins Shoe of the Year because of the buzz that it's created and it's changed. It's created a lot of conversation. Yeah, for sure.
The way that Nike presented it, where they did the panel discussions for each shoe and did all that in New
They went
York,
all
like
in.
Yeah, that's pretty
they
cool.
really
Yeah.
did a great job of storytelling, which is a huge thing right now. But I don't know if this should be Shoe of the Year.
Yeah, and that's how I feel now, where it's like it's still an Air Jordan 1.
Exactly.
It's still a shoe that has existed for 30 years,
They're all still just
32
shoes.
years.
Like, I don't know. Maybe this is. I agree with it should be concept
Right.
of the year, and maybe even longer than that.
I can-
Longer
yeah,
than
I
of
can
the
agree
year
with that.
because who else has 10 shoes?
At one time.
Right.
And then who has them
Like-
at one time?
Right, because there are only a few, like P-Rod, my homie,
Yeah.
he just got his 10th Nike SB shoe.
That's crazy,
Kobe
right?
congratulated him for it. Like, that's a monumental
Yeah.
thing. And then for Virgil to have 10 at one
These
time
dudes-
as a collaborator, not
they
even
have
like
to be
a...
relevant in the
But you're saying just
industry
the
or
pack.
in the
Yeah,
profession.
Yeah, just the Air
Just the
Jordan,
Jordan
1
1,
was called the
not the
shoe of
pack.
the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Not the pack, but
Yeah.
but I mean, like, the whole thing, the whole concept is pretty. It's
Right.
It's
Like
very
I
interesting.
feel like they could have. I
This
know it's
application
Footwear
is
News
good.
and they do this
I
every
don't
year.
understand the zip tie.
But I feel like they could have given him a title of like Man of the Year or something like that,
Yeah.
where it's like you did this
Man of the Year.
no, because he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
something that's like not been done before. Getting 10 shoes at one time, not even as a signed athlete, a signed artist, or anything to Nike.
I think this is a photo. He said, "Why is he in a sweatshop?" I think this is. I'm pretty sure this is a photoshopped image, and that's not really Virgil. These are they're not the inside out boxes. I don't know what's happening here. There's one of those Asian folks in the background.
I think there was like a
No, this was
The white dude back
this was
there.
before the buzz really started. This was when he was like signing them and saying like this one was Air Flacco, that's going to ASAP Rocky. Like this is when he originally started.
Yeah.
Before we even saw any of the other ones that were popping up.
Here's Bella Hadid.
Oh God. That poor girl. But I just don't, like you were saying, Air Jordan 1 is a timeless shoe. It's been around for a while. He just changed a few things, took a check off the inside, wrote some shit on the outside, put some laces in there.
Well,
and
this is like sample tag
it's
stuff.
like- yeah,
this
that's
is not
exactly-
right. So,
that's right.
so that's why this doesn't excite me.
Yeah.
Right.
I think because I'm just like as a sample tag or you know like something like that. I don't know.
So you're on that level of like, well, are you gonna finish it? That's what you're saying? Like you wanted to see, like this isn't done yet.
Like, you know what? I didn't realize that was where I was, but I think that's where I am. You know, I'm kind of looking at it, and I understand the no swoosh. You know, because the guys in Jordan did it not too long ago. They took the swoosh off the low.
The Jordan 1 low.
Yeah,
You gotta
John
bring it up,
rocks
right?
those.
Yeah.
And they're clean. You know, shout out to Frank Kajima. Like those rates, they're dope. But and I thought I was gonna hate it, but I actually really love it. But on this, I don't know. They just kind of feel unfinished.
I
And
think
I
that,
still
I mean,
really don't
obviously,
understand the zip tie.
I think that's
but
that was
I
the-
think that's is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, they did a good job of telling
then
that story with those
Man
and the
of the
other
Year.
5. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, he told a story. He told why he wanted to do it this way. There was a whole campaign behind it, and I think that was incredible.
And across brands.
And across brands,
I mean,
exactly.
it's all one company, but
Right,
across
but
brands.
yeah, he
like,
did the
that's
sportswear, Jordan brand, and Converse. Like, he did a Chuck and all that.
That's crazy.
So
and performance, right? Because then
Right.
they do, like,
Yeah,
and those are
the
really
Vapor Max
separate
and all that.
brands.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're
Hyperdunks.
separate performance.
Oh, yeah, and the
sportswear.
Hyperdunks. Yep.
Completely.
It's pretty wild that he did one concept and the way that he applied it to all different
To all these different silhouettes.
because
Yeah.
they're so different. They're not like that for all of them.
Yeah.
They all have their own little differences to
Yeah.
it.
I think
That's wild.
I think so. That brings us to, open up the conversation. We're all sitting here talking about it and finding ways that we either like it or don't like it or whatever. What else would we be talking about? Like, if not this, then what?
that
The LeBron 15.
For me.
LeBron 15.
for me in terms of like new design, like that.
Okay.
I was polarized by this, and I
battle
couldn't
knit.
wait
I'm-
to
Yeah.
go get it, and it's ridiculously comfortable.
I'm sure that probably the contender right behind it was probably the HyperAdapt for the technology. That's this year, correct? Still.
Is that this year or last year?
Yeah, I thought it was at the end of last year.
Was it at the end of last year?
Yeah,
I
I,
thought it
think
was
it might have been
like-
2016.
I think it might have been
last year.
Yeah.
But
I
the-
think-
There's a
it
whole
leaks
lot
into
of
this
it.
What
What's
took
coming
that?
out?
Rihanna took it last year.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Puma Creeper.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
just
think
trying to
that.
say what's like innovative or what has
Right.
happened. And
Yeah,
Right.
the only
This is
other
like
thing
a
that
different type of innovation.
Sure.
This is like
Right,
this
right,
is
right.
like
I'm not saying
this is
that
like
this
on
is-
your. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No.
This is like on your mind innovation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
That's
Like,
what I
which
mean.
is-
Like he changed
which is
a lot
like
of people's
like
perceptions.
feel,
Yeah.
which is why we like shoes.
Right.
You know, most of us is because of how it makes us feel.
Yep.
I'm cool with eating top ramen. You know what I'm saying? If it means I have blah blah blah. Like I'm
Yeah.
I'm
I
fine
think that's a
with
part
staying
of this whole
outside all
like,
night.
this
Yeah.
whole
You know?
sickness that we all have. It's
Yeah.
like, that just comes with the territory.
Yeah, I'm afraid what happened to you at your job is gonna happen to me this weekend. I'm just spending all my fucking money on these goddamn shoes.
Yeah,
this
you need
weekend.
to live in Portland, man. I got you, bro. I got a couch.
All right, no doubt.
Got a couch.
I'll take you up on that.
Yeah.
My last question on it: where do you think this, this partnership with Virgil, Off-White, and Nike will go from here? Because when you come out with something as monumental as having 10 silhouettes at one time with a company like this, I don't where do you go from there? Do you think this will continue on into 2018, or is this kind of like a one and done
Yeah.
I hope they do
situation?
nothing.
Yeah.
You think what?
I hope they do nothing.
Nothing
Yeah,
else?
after 10
For like a
fucking
really long
silhouettes,
time.
They
Yeah.
better chill.
Or
for sure.
or go to like just completely
I think
change direction, or he just disappears and is like, I did it.
I think
And that's it. That's not what's gonna
now,
happen.
do you
of course
think
not.
that's
Of course
not?
not.
Now,
Right,
do you
yeah.
think that that's the move that Nike's gonna do? Of
course
this
not.
thing that
No,
makes
look at all these
crazy money.
dollars.
So what?
Look at these dollars he's
straight
about
up.
to make.
I think
Yeah.
what happens next is they give him his own silhouette. Do you think that after all this shit,
If he's
and 10
smart,
fucking shoes,
if he's smart, he won't take
He
it
wouldn't do it. Yeah.
because that's a lot of pressure. The group
because where
that
do
he
you go after
runs
this?
in.
Where do you go?
That's
after
what I'm
this?
saying. Like,
nowhere to go
there's
after
nowhere
this.
you can really go, and it's not
Especially,
like
I mean,
he
just that
reinvented
brand.
the wheel. He just took a concept.
I
He
think it's
used
with
what he's
Nike,
already
with Nike.
doing with Off-White
With
and
Nike, what do you do
established.
next?
What,
He
what,
put that on the silhouettes that he was given.
What would he like?
What
of
is
all
there?
of the silhouettes of the
You're like, that's my
styles
question.
that are possible, like
That
silhouettes.
holds some
like
type of value.
this high top silhouette, the Roshi, the generic low top, the Chuck. What silhouette are you going for? A
Yeah.
boot?
And then if you
Keisha did the high
continue to
Air
do
Force
that,
One. Still
then
Air
it just
Force- still Air
it
Force
almost
One.
like devalues all this because then you're just doing the same shit on
Yeah.
all of Nike shoes.
So-
Like,
so
You
again, back,
can't do anything else.
but back to the question,
Apparel.
right? But it's still, then it's living in the collaboration zone.
Yeah.
So, not what we want them to do, or we hope that they will do, but what do you think they'll actually do? What do you think Nike will actually do? You think they're going to offer him up some other scenario?
Like, to be completely honest, I don't know very much about Virgil, but he's doing something extremely right. Because if we look at Nike's history, they've been getting slapped in the face by Adidas when it comes to working with athletes and or not athletes, but like music, people in music and people like actors and whatnot. Any collaborations, they always essentially just go like, give me your likeness, here's the stuff, and then do you like this thing, you know, that we created with your name on it. A lot of times they sit side by side and they work together and whatnot. But if you look at what Adidas does when it comes to working with whoever the influencer is, they let them do whatever they want. And so that person actually gets to speak through that footwear. I didn't feel like, I've never really felt too much like they got to do that, like people get to do that as much with Nike, aside from like, you know, Clark was doing Forces all the time, and that's awesome.
Right.
And Bobito, you know, and stuff like that. And then the Busy P Air Force One, I thought was dope because he just got to write all over it.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was really, really cool. Yeah, the midsole, like all that was really cool. But you know, something like this has never been done where I feel like he just straight up was like, y'all gonna give me 10 shoes
Or nothing.
or nothing. Yeah, and you need me, and you
exactly.
know, and look at what Kanye's doing.
I was just
Look
about
at
to
what, like we cannot ignore Kanye.
Yeah,
No,
what
you
I think
cannot
is going
ignore-
to happen, and I think they know this because they've already gotten slapped in the face with it. They got Kanye's homie who was equally as influential in a different way as Kanye, and they say, look, we fucked up with Kanye. We let him go. We didn't allow him to do the things that he wanted to do. Now we're seeing what he's doing at Adidas. Let's try this out with you. And I think that's what's going to happen.
That's why
That's a way to put it, man.
that brings it back to the core.
I think
of what
that's
was
what's
saying,
going to happen
is
where they're
that's
going
why I
to give
said the
him his
silhouette
own
thing.
line.
Yeah.
That's why I said the silhouette thing.
And when
I
this
don't-
first popped
because
up, I
that's-
thought this was like he was lazy, like whatever, like you just like disassembled the shoes, whatever. After seeing you went and shot this at Project Blitz.
Yeah, so we got to have our hands on a
After
bunch
seeing
of
it
them.
really close to footage and shit, all the crazy different weird materials and
I fucking wish
there's
we had-
so
materials
many,
are great.
So
The
many
materials-
just from
details.
looking
There's
at it
so
from-
many
Have you had
details.
any of them in hand?
I haven't actually
Alright,
seen
so
any, but
They're
like
nuts.
the 90 is a
That one
whole
was my
different
favorite
world
one.
from the photos.
really,
So like having
Yeah.
it in hand, there's
it looks really technical.
crazy technical and textures that are fucking out of control.
Yeah,
like this
tape
shit,
seams
like
and embroidery
it's
and
a different
all
fucking
sorts of
shoe.
materials, man. It's crazy.
The only one that I've seen in person is the Vapor Max, and I was a little skeptical at first, but when I
haven't seen
saw
that
them on
either.
Wait, I
foot,
think I
I was
saw-
just like, those are
Who
money.
What released
Young
already?
Corey.
Was it like
Okay.
a like
I
a
saw him at
blazer?
the Fast House.
They
pop-up
did
the
the
other day.
No,
the
I
blazer,
didn't get
the
to go.
90.
good.
Well,
Know some Huda fries. from
Jack,
me.
what actually released so far?
They've done raffles for everything.
They've done raffles
Oh,
for
okay.
everything.
I think today is like the last day of raffles.
No, I don't mean that. That's like no one's actually gotten anything from those raffles yet. That's the 9th. People can do pickups. That's when that starts. But there was when they did the London and
Yeah, they
Paris,
did
New
the.
York, or whatever.
Yeah, because I think I,
forgot
saw
what
the
the name of
blazers
it
like
was,
in my
but-
hand.
the Blazers.
Somebody brought them in the
the
shop.
Off
ones,
campus?
and
Off campus, yeah.
That thing?
Nike off.
Prestos, right?
Prestos, ones,
Prestos are dope.
and 90s.
Oh, 90.
Somebody-
Maybe it was
I
a
saw-
Presto then.
I was
don't-
talking about them to somebody the other day, and he was like, "The Prestos look like they just got ran over by a lawnmower." I was like, "Damn, that's a good way to put it." They do kind of look like that.
That's legit.
But this, regardless of what we think or what we feel, this is the shoe of the year. We said our piece. I do think
I'm
Nike
not-
is going
I'm not mad at
to
it.
learn from their
I'm
mistakes.
not
They've
mad.
been
I'm not happy
burned
about it,
once,
but I'm not
and
mad
they're gonna and they're gonna continue. Last but not least, to end this off, and this is just a quick open discussion. What are your top picks from ComplexCon this year? What is the best shoe or what is the shoe you are most looking forward to that's releasing?
Out of all of them,
Out of all, you got to pick one. If you
I
had to
gotta
stand in
pick
line
one.
for the whole convention, day one, which one are you standing in line for?
shit.
His face.
I guess
can
the
Can we go
the
down like
Dotsie-
the run?
Fuck,
of-
man, that's what I was gonna
We'll
say.
go down the run,
Seeds.
like the list of like what all is supposed to be
Oh
coming.
God! So there's all the Air Force Ones. They gave.
I don't want any of them. Cut
Okay.
next.
Those Air Max 97
Yeah,
undefeated.
those are up
undefeated.
Jack,
we've
can you
also-
hold that 5 picture of the Air Forces? Just so
And then
kids-
everything else is coming out this weekend. If I could
Reebok
get the
is
Water
doing
Spoon.
their Stranger Things vintage look collab.
If it was a question, it'd be
Did we talk about the gold,
different
the black,
story.
the top threes? Did you just say that?
Oh,
Oh, the
threes.
black and gold top threes. I just saw those today.
Is that they're actually
Yeah.
calling them
Those
top
are-
threes?
They're
I
called-
think they are.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Gold
Them is
top threes.
hard.
Yeah, those right there.
These are hard as fuck.
Bro,
Yeah.
if this was satin,
Ooh.
Dude, come
Yeah,
on
because
now.
that patent leather gonna crease mad quick.
yeah, and it's gonna be.
I
Bro,
always see
we-
photos where
Satin
these
creases
crease.
so fast.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it-
I like breathed on mine and they fucking.
you gotta stop breathing, bro.
Gotta stop breathing. Spiral the
You gotta,
dragon
you,
ass.
gotta, you gotta pre-crease it. You know, like when you fold it first, like with
To
your
get the
thumbs,
perfect
yep,
straight
So
across.
that
So
you know
yeah,
where
it
that
knows
crease is
where to
going.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to like stick a
That
shoe tree in
crease
there.
resistance.
These and then
Jesus Christ.
not that this is a not that this is like a release per se, but there's
Those
the
Pendleton
Tiffany
joints
Dunks.
about to drop?
Yeah, I just saw those today.
Steezes. You see,
Oh
I guess
yeah, Nick posted a photo. The
Nick
other day,
like pulled a stash of Tiffany Dunks
Oh,
that he
yeah.
must have had hidden for
Yeah.
God knows how long, and put them. Collaborated with Croatian Style, I guess, to release it through.
Because
his-
Project Bliss had a grip of those. For
Project
like,
Blitz had a grip of those, but there's also
There's like
like
a grip of everything.
right. But I think my personal view on this is that I don't think that they will sell them for like resale value.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
You're
Nick
dead
is
right.
associated
Yeah.
with it. That would be a horrific look for Diamond and for Nick.
No, I don't
And
think
never
they will
ever
either.
ever work with Nike ever again.
Right.
Has he been doing a lot of work with Nike lately?
No, but
No, because they
still,
started
did
Diamond
it,
Footwear
a couple years
so
ago.
it's-
Oh.
But they did another
Wait, but that doesn't
collab
mean
like
anything.
a
You can
couple
still
years
do.
ago.
That's
yeah,
true.
they did a collab a couple years ago. Like they brought it
Well,
back.
the
It was
high
like a 15.
top. It was the fucking
A
the
10.
high top. The
Vert.
low top they turned into a high top.
Right, that was
Yeah, was he
but-
even really involved?
not
in that
really. No.
situation?
Yeah.
You feel like they're just like, yeah,
Well,
bring
I
it up,
did
make it
get-
I
up.
was
just-
told that he wasn't
they
really
just
involved
did.
in the first one either.
Yeah,
but
they just did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did have some, like, Duran sent me 3 pairs. So, like, they did have some affiliation with it, but, like, it wasn't
right,
really,
but
like,
at the end of the day, if he took this very coveted shoe and hid 50 pairs of them and then turned around fucking however many years later and sold them for $700 a piece
right.
at his collab, he's the brand, he's the
Yeah.
partner on that shoe.
Yeah, it'd be a bad look.
It's a bad look.
It is a bad look.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I think that they're going to do something interesting
Unless they're making it some sort
for
of
that.
story.
So, is that the one you would probably be most excited about? Or is
Nah,
it, no,
it's not at the top of my list. For me, it is that Don C.
No,
Dude,
the
that's
one,
it.
It's a
the
1, 2, 3
1, 2, and
combo.
Oh yeah,
on,
yeah.
That shit's hella fire. And the shit's
The
quality.
premium look. It looks
Yeah.
And their
premium
whole-
as fuck.
Their whole squad is booming. Done.
If
Yeah,
you had to
Don,
choose
yeah,
out of
Virgil.
what we've told you, what do you?
I gotta go off of like what I'm probably just gonna wear a lot, and it will be that 97.
97.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm in
Yeah.
there chefing lattes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hype barista to his finest.
Hey.
And I just that's what I do now. Like I just if I can't work in it, I can't really
that makes sense.
wear it.
Yeah.
And you can ask any of the guys that work in the shop or that know me. Like as soon as I wear something once, it's over. Like I got a pair of I was very fortunate to get a pair of the Hirachis that they did for TEDx Portland this year. So you know they did like the perfect pair ones and all that stuff. So a friend of mine presented this year and he was like, yeah, so don't forget my 2 pair. And they gave him 2. And he was like, well, I can't wear 2 pairs of shoes. So, you know, crazy money. They're going for crazy money. I think there's a pair right now at Index in Portland that's going for pretty good money. And I wear them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
As
and
you
everybody's
should.
pissed. I mean, they're like
As
beat.
you should.
Like, got milk all over them and stuff. So, like, I just. But yeah, it would be that. It would be that 97.
Yeah. Word up. I think if I had to choose, it would probably be the white acronyms just because it's a clean shoe. You got the zipper. It holds the same. White acronym Air Force Ones holds the same aesthetic as the ones that they drop, but it's just a little bit cleaner to me.
How much time do we have?
We have no time.
Okay.
Fuck off.
We're talking about the other ones 2 hours. Let's go.
Yeah. So, Ian, please let the people, the viewers and the listeners know where they can find you online,
Oh,
your
yeah.
shop, and everything where it's
Which
located.
one am I looking into?
Which one he got? Right there. That's all you,
That one?
Playboy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Deadstock Coffee, for that.
He doesn't even know where it's located.
Shut up, man. I'm there all the time. I don't look at the outside. 408 Northwest Coos Street. Come find
no,
us.
you're looking at this
Oh,
one.
you pointed, man.
I did too, because he
Look.
pointed on. He high. He didn't even.
You messed me up, man. He was like,
ain't got
this
the-
one.
He don't know his geometry.
This one.
He's like,
No, Deadstock Coffee. 408 Northwest Cooch Street on Cooch between 4th and 5th. Looks like couch.
Cooch. It looks like couch.
Cooch. It looks like couch, but it's Cooch.
Oh, I thought we was talking
Yeah.
about Cooch.
No.
I can get behind the Cooch though.
Right around the corner from Compound and Index and Penn Sol. So come visit us at Deadstock Coffee on Instagram, Deadstock PDX on Twitter, DeadstockCoffee.com. Come see me. T-Weezy. Mama, I love you.
Hey, and that's been our barista for the evening, Mr. Ian Williams.
Trying to see him on our. Thank you guys,
Ooh,
man.
I
really
can't get
appreciate
behind
it.
that statement.
Hey, man.
But
You a hater, bro.
it's all love. For John Colombo and Dano, I'm Caesars. I will see you in episode 23, the Jordan episode, baby. We're putting up numbers.
I'm coming back.
And he might be coming back. I don't know.
I'm not
but
coming
until next time.
Peace
Peace
out.
out. Oh my God, I gotta break the seal so bad.
Me too, dude. That was like.